Here's that girls game between Junction City and Washburn Rural. Bryn Anderson bounces that ball into the paint. That passes out to Brooklyn Rutherford, and that ball finds the bottom of the basket from beyond the arc. Closing seconds of the first half, Rutherford's running circles around the defense. Eventually it ends up in the hands of Ella Hershey. That three's good. Sweet stroke from Hershey. Junior Blues up big at the break. Now on the fast break in the third quarter, Lanaya Warmack takes it coast to coast. The Blues boost the Blue Jays' confidence. The Washburn Rural would run away with this one. More pure passing by the Junior Blues. This time it's Rutherford to Hallie Walker, right up and in. Washburn Rural wins it 56-14.